You're done?
Call meeting to order. No, please rise. I ask you to join me in a moment of reflection on the business that's before us this evening. And please join me in a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Violet?
Here.
Alderman Begley? Alderman Basso?
Here.
Alderman Lewandowski?
Here.
Alderman Key? Alderman McGrogan?
Here.
Alderman McGovern?
Here.
Alderman Clifford?
Present.
All right, we've got some special presentations tonight. First, I'd like to introduce Chief Chakowski, if you'd like to start it out.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'll be brief.
It's okay.
Mayor Strauss and City Council members, tonight we are here to present life-saving awards to Officer Jake Wiegand and Grady Connell for their courageous actions which resulted in the life-saving measures of a subject who was suffering from a mental health crisis and serious self-inflicted injury. In June 2024, Officers Wiegand and Connell were dispatched to a residence with a subject in crisis. Upon arrival, the officers learned the subject was lying in the yard after putting their arm through a plate glass window. Officers Wiegand and Connell immediately assessed the situation and recognized that the subject had severed an artery and was in need of prompt medical care. Without hesitation, Officers Wiegand and Connell began to apply direct pressure to the wound. When direct pressure failed to stop the bleeding, the officers applied a tourniquet to the victim's arm and stopped the bleeding. Once EMS arrived, the subject was stabilized and transported to the hospital for further treatment. It should be noted that the treating emergency room physician credited the officers' field trauma tactics for saving the subject's life. Wow. Tonight I would like to applaud Officers Wiegand and Connell for a job well done and for their commitment to the citizens of Palos Heights. Thank you. I'd like to present you with these life-saving awards for a job well done, and we appreciate all you've done. Thank you. I just have one more quick thing, if I could.
I'm glad Officer Regal stayed in the middle of,
I know, I feel like twins. Also tonight, I was asked to provide an update on our Special Olympics fundraising efforts. For the 2024 Polar Plunge, Cop on Top, Starbucks event, and Torch Run, the department has raised over $20,000. A special recognition goes out tonight to Officers Apostle and Carlson for working the Chicago NASCAR race Split the Pot event and subjecting themselves to extreme heat and torrential downpours to raise an additional $3,348, bringing the Palos Heights total efforts to over $23,000 for this great cause. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Okay, also tonight we have Gareth Blakesley is from Lake Catherine is going to give us the annual report. So it's all yours.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here. So we are going to be going over a little bit of the 2023 annual report and then try to give you updates on what has been occurring at Lake Catherine in the last 6 months as well. So it's kind of a twofold aspect of things. So I also think it's a good thing for us to remind ourselves what our mission is at Lake Catherine. Our mission is to connect people with nature, and we've been working on updating our mission statement so it aligns a lot more with what the things we were doing, with our things on sustainability, environmental education, welcoming space for people and also for wildlife, and trying to kind of get that out there and why that's so important. But going in from last year, I started with volunteers. Last year, we had 60 regularly registered volunteers. And over that time, they contributed over 2,000 hours worth of volunteer time towards Lake Catherine. That is a worth, if you look at the independent sector, they would put that regular worth as $63,600 of the value of their time. Basically, it means we wouldn't be able to operate with the things without their help and all the things that we do with them, about gardening, restoration, environmental education. There's a variety of different things in that respect. So that was just last year. We also have a variety of environmental education events and recreation programs. Our environmental education programs themselves had 5,150 students attend them over last year. That's our biggest number since prior to the pandemic, which means our numbers have really rebounded. A lot of those are field trips from schools, from inner city schools and underserved neighborhoods. We also have a variety of things, of evening events, such as Sunset Sonata and family campouts and archery classes, and they all kind of contribute to the different types of programming and events that we have going throughout the evening. And also, we also have our kind of keystone events of the year, which is our Monarch Butterfly celebration, which is now over actually 3 days. We have a Monarch and Margarita celebration the night on the Friday, going into 2 days worth of the actual events going over that time. We also have our general usage of people. The bike trail itself has about 80,000 people use it. That number fluctuates from year to year. And there's a variety of people, from cyclists to runners to walkers. So the recreation aspects of that is really huge. And we also have a huge amount of partnerships and yoga programs with our, one of our strategic partners is the Do Good movement. And they do all of our yoga programs, and they also give back to the community with donations. This is just a great example. I think this picture is great. It gives you an example of what our summer camps look like. So our summer camps are kept at about 15 to about 20 students. They get to kind of get engaged in all aspects of environmental education. It's not just hugging trees, although that might be an aspect of it. There's things about learning how to create fires, how to learn to do research, and a variety of kind of outdoor skills and things that they might learn as they're going along. Conservation obviously is a key part. So last year we planted 72 shrubs and trees, and we do 6 prescribed burns, and we removed 1 acre of buckthorn. And depending on where you are, that's actually quite a lot. It can be very kind of intense kind of area for us to remove. And we had 26 restoration work days as well. So that's basically separate from those volunteer numbers I talked about. These are groups that come out and actually help us restore areas. And then we also have our regular restoration groups that kind of work out with those things as well. We also we had the Mayor's Morning Pledge, which means that we're planting things like milkweed and those kind of things that are really important to the conservation and the quality of the land there. Going quickly to finances. So it gives us an overview. These budgets are actually the combined total of how it costs to run Lake Catherine. So if you look at the city of Palos Heights, that's how much the city of Palos Heights contributed last year if you take out the payment back to the city last year. Rental revenue was $227,000, donation grant revenue was $53,000, educational program revenue was $64,000, special event revenue $53,000, and other revenue is $49,000, giving a grand total of $712,000 worth of revenue. The reason why that revenue is higher than the actual income, which you see, so the expense on the right, is a lot of the expense is going to be kind of went out this year for our boathouse stock, because we did a lot of fundraising last year that didn't go into operationals but went into other aspects of things. A good chunk of last year's also goes into the payment last year to the city of Palos Heights. Operating expenses are separated out from the professional fundraising because they're regarded as a little bit of a different way from an accounting standpoint. Donors kind of made everything happen last year, which was really crucial for us. We had 124 donors contributing for a variety of different events, whether that's the boathouse fundraising, dedications, Monarch and Margaritas, or corporate contributions, $92,000. And that's something that we obviously want to continue with as we move forward. We're going to be talking about that when we go into our updates for the coming year. Last year, we also had, you probably heard about it and seen the things, was the Anchor Review. That's the Association of Nature Center Administrators Review, which kind of gave us a lot of the framework for how we're moving forward into the future. This is obviously the mayor getting, don't mess with the mayor when he has a mallet in his hand. But we did a city cleanup, pumpkin smash, greenhouse. We did a variety of different partnerships, not just the Do Good, but like the Palos Fine Arts Committee and a variety of different other things. We did 3,200 canoe and kayak rentals last year. We've been doing a variety of DEI trainings, and we're trying to incorporate in that programs and events that we do. And the great thing is that we were able to fully fundraise the Mayor Shah's Boathouse and Boardwalk last year as well, and install this year. So coming into this year, we have a variety of different things that we're going on. We completed one of our most significant capital projects in the last thing, fully funded by the non-profits, fully fundraised. That actually started a few years ago with a $30,000 anonymous grant, which is a fantastic for us to kind of get going with that. We also have officially changed the Lake Catherine Nature Center Botanic Gardens name to Lake Catherine Nature Center. So we've actually listed that. That is now our official title, and we're working for that. We now have a sitting council member on the nonprofit board. That's Heather Begley. Now actually has attended probably about 3 or 4 of our board meetings right now. We are in the development and near completion of a business plan. That will actually help with our MOU discussions and kind of like gives us the framework of what we want to do going forward, and also builds off the numbers that we gave you back in November of last year. We have the front walkway to the Nature Center has been replaced recently, so it gives a very fresh entrance to the Nature Center, which makes it great. Thank you to Adam for helping facilitating that. And then next week, we actually have our first interviews for the first employee of the nonprofit ever. So that's going to be our fundraiser, and they're going to be, hopefully we'll get someone started in the next month or so, hopefully if the interview process goes well. And because of that, we've had to develop a personnel manual, benefits package, job descriptions, and all that kind of good stuff that you will actually need to kind of do that. I'm also joined by 3 of my board members tonight, Terry Heapy, Joe Bostetzer, Susan Doherty, so they're kind of here just to say hi and everything like that. And then also very excitingly, I'm sure you're excited about it, is tomorrow they start the expansion of the Trailhead parking lot, which I think is absolutely huge. It's going to be wonderful, and Adam has been amazing helping with that as well. So thank you, everyone.
Okay. Bear with me a second. Okay, anything else there? Thanks, Adam, appreciate it. Thanks for the update, and continue the good work. A lot of good talks about Lake Catherine. Under consent calendar, we've got the approval of the minutes of the City Council meeting from July 2nd, 2024, the approval of the payroll and the voucher list for the period ending July 12th, 2024. Need a motion to approve. Moved by Alderman McGrogan, second by Alderman Violet. Discussion. Roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
All right, no sealed bids tonight. Under my report, I guess to say one thing, I guess we were somewhat fortunate that we escaped some of the devastating power outages and things that hit a good portion of the city of Chicago yesterday and other suburbs. We that I know of, had very little power outages, no downed trees to speak of. Public Works was out this morning going through and moving some branches and the like that were in the road right away. And I know that actually next door neighbor had one in front of his house, and I saw one of the guys there this morning. And so it was great that we got through and not have to do that. Also, I know Alderman Key is not here tonight, just to inform everybody that Orchard Park is pretty much close to being open for business. The construction fences are down. I walked through there today with Joe Smith and took an idea, looked at the splash pad and the little semi-basketball court they have there and the seating areas. It looks really nice, and once the grass grows in it, it's going to be totally done. So looking forward to that as another accomplishment we've done. And then finally, just as a way of an update, Thursday is our car classic. As it's been going on for a number of years. As you know, we expect 400 to 500 cars. The Harlem Avenue people are really, the merchants themselves are really buying into it. A lot of Facebook chatter from the different restaurants and businesses supporting it. We've had anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 people on a given day show up on a Thursday night. So, this is something we started a number of years ago to get people from in the area and outside of the area to the business district, and it seems to have really caught on. And we get people from all over the southwest suburbs and some of the greatest cars. If you're a gearhead, this is the place to be Thursday night. So just kind of come out and take advantage of it, and it would be really great. So other than that, City Clerk, do you have anything?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
City Treasurer,
Thank you, no report.
City Attorney,
Thank you, no report.
any communications any of the council members have? Citizens wishing to address the council, anyone tonight? Okay, if not, Finance Committee, Alderman McGrogan? Oh, I'm sorry. Your name and address, too?
Frank Lennon. So I started studying like a lot of stuff a long time ago, and I read this book called 3 Cups of Tea, and it's a must read by the Pentagon. Everybody in the Pentagon has to read this book. And there's this stuff called the Madras, where they get these Islam, the Muslims, and then they want them to have 5 to 6 wives each, and they want them to breed like crazy, and it's all about the Taliban, and then it's like you give $1.27 million to that complex over there. It's like, what are you doing? And then there's like a Madras architecture right there in Harlem. What's going on? Then all of a sudden we get the pandemic lockdown. You have this huge hole drilled over there for the water main. It's like, I grew up here, and then the bike trail, it just comes out of nowhere. And then all of a sudden now there's access for these trucks to go in there. And then we got those 5G towers. Why do you think when you talk, the sound reverberates through the air? Because all the radiation is picking it up. And so in this book, 3 Cups of Tea, it's all about Islam and this guy who went to Pakistan, and they worship this rock and they think it's God. And then I'm studying so hard. I take a calculus test, college algebra, and then it's like, okay, who did this? Sir Isaac Newton. So we got an atmosphere, right? Atmospheric pressure is 14.7 kilopascals. Anything less than atmospheric pressure is a vacuum. So anything that makes it out of the atmosphere is going to get sucked into deep space. So nothing ever left. There was no man on the moon. There's no asteroids that can break through the atmosphere. There's no rock. It's all fake. It's all fake religion. It's not real. The only true faith is Catholicism. And it's like what's going on in the world. The only truth that we actually have is from the prophecies. So I think that we're really everybody has to come together. Like, we got to stop this nonsense. Like, I want to put you up to this, mayor, because you've been doing so much stuff that just is ruining this neighborhood. And I don't think it's you. I think someone put you up to it, because we got 1/5 of the world's fresh water in the Great Lakes. And then there's just so much with all the stuff that goes down the Mississippi River, and it affects the Gulf of Mexico and the fish down there.
Okay. Well, thank you for your thank you very much.
Well, it's like you kind of are like a war criminal if you gave terrorists $1.27 million, and then you're going to go to Lake Catherine and you're going to take out all the buckthorn. Yeah, buckthorn's an invasive species, but it holds the soil in.
Okay.
So it's got.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
I don't know. Like, you just drilled this pipeline, and it goes through the PBO field. I-80 is under construction. It seems to me like they're bringing it out to the Oligorf Aquifer. I might have pronounced it wrong, but it's where they grow all these vegetables in the middle of a desert. And it's just like, you look at America, we used to have a majority of the population being farmers, and then that switched into, it's a more metropolitan condensed. So there's more people living in cities than farms. So it would make sense if the Great Lakes were getting drained through Palos Heights. And it would also make sense to come clean about this, because we're all in this together. God bless America.
Okay. Thank you.
The Catholic faith, of course. If you ever watch Jimmy Carter's inauguration, he references George Washington's inauguration, where he put his hand on a Bible.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. Any other citizens? Okay. Finance Committee, Alderman Grogan.
I'm up. I gotta digest that for a minute. So number 7 is a motion to approve the TEFRA bond resolution for the Trinity refunding bonds in the amount of $20 million.
Moved by Alderman McGrogan. Second by Alderman, was that Violet?
Just, Mayor, just right
Sure.
before the meeting, we had a special meeting for any residents who had questions. There was really no questions. There's really no liability of the city, and we've discussed this before, and I think this will be a great partnership operation between us and Trinity.
Great, I agree. All right, discussion, roll call.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
That's the end of my report.
Thank you, sir. Public Safety, Alderman Basso.
Yes, Mayor, I have no items on the agenda this evening, but I would just like to once again congratulate our police department. It's absolutely amazing the things that they participate in and cooperate with, and they're a great department. Every day they do things that astound me and probably everyone else if they knew about the details. So I'd just like to say congratulations again and good luck to them.
Yeah, so many things for the department, but even as you see, the commitment they've made to the Special Olympics over the years has just been phenomenal. So my hat's off to them if I wore a hat. But that's okay.
That's the end of my report.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you. Alderman Begley's not here. Alderman Lewandowski's going to handle that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to make a motion to adopt an ordinance amending section 34.133 of the code regarding the Public Arts Commission.
Moved by Alderman
Second.
Lewandowski, seconded by Alderman Clifford. Discussion? Roll call. I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Mayor, very quickly, it's a
Yeah.
slight change that
Right.
the commission may consult with the mayor and with the municipality at large on any art projects in the city.
Right. Any questions? Roll call.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
That's it.
Yes, that's the end of my
Planning and
report.
zoning, Alderman McGovern.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Alderman Key, you gonna
Aye.
handle this? I'm sorry if I stepped on your toes about the car plastic thing.
That's right. I move to approve payment to Williams Architects in the amount of $7,472.31 for budding services, reimbursables, and unit billing items for Phase 1 of the pool project.
Moved by Alderman Violet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Clifford. Discussion? Roll call.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
I move to approve the renewal of a 5-year contract with Time Clock Plus in the amount of $6,573.92 for part-time staff time clock tracking and service.
Moved by Alderman Violet. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman
Basso.
Basso. Discussion? Roll call.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
That's it.
No,
Oh.
one other thing.
Sure.
Since this is the rec committee report, I've been contacted by a couple of residents involving power softball. I think that maybe a few of us have. I guess it's a complicated issue, but I think that we should at least be aware of it. Apparently,
Just my understanding, it's been all worked out as of today.
well, the part about adding boys
Yes.
has been worked out. But, there's also the issue of Palos Heights residents being turned away from power softball teams. I've heard that. I don't know if anyone
Yeah,
else has heard that as well.
I would jump
And-
in. Go ahead, Dan, but I'll jump in when you.
It seems to me that, this is an organization where not even 50% of the members are Palos Heights residents, and some of their leadership is not in Palos Heights. But all of our Palos Heights programs are promoted to Palos Heights residents. Every rec program we have out of our rec center gives advantages to Palos Heights residents, be they financial advantages or first up preferences. When my kids were doing dance at the rec center, dance was very popular to outsiders, but there were like 2 days at the beginning for Palos Heights residents only to make sure that they could secure their spot. And from what I've heard, that's not what's going on anymore at Palos Power, that they're not giving any sort of priority to Palos Heights residents. And I don't think it's fair to the girls that live in Palos Heights.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, that's an inaccurate statement. They don't turn away any children in that program. I've been involved in that program for a number of years and know their leadership quite well, except for their travel teams, they have one travel team, so it's a competitive process, and they have limited spots on that. So they don't do it on priority of where they live, but on tryouts and so on and so forth is the way they run their organization. But as a whole, the organization welcomes all children until they have the obvious cutoffs of the season starting.
I was also contacted, and I'm not a member of the rec, although I read the minutes from time to time. And I really felt sorry for the people that I talked to, because they had daughters that wanted to participate in the program, and and I don't know all the ins and outs, right, like you must do. But, you know, we all pay a lot of taxes, and everybody that is in the city, you know, gets their tax bill. All our tax bills went up, and a lot. I got calls on that too. But I try to explain that we have a little sliver of that big check that you have to write. But on the baseball for power, I do not think that since we let them use the fields, they put a fence up that I don't even remember ever us voting on, this temporary fence, which looks like crap.
Yeah, we did.
And
Yeah, we did.
the big one we did.
Yeah, we did both.
But not the temporary one.
Yeah, we did.
They put, I don't think so. I checked on the minutes. And so I do think that should, like, that's a public park. And I was told that the way they treat the people that try to use it, which are residents, you know, like I said, I'm in the middle. I wish they didn't call me, but on the other hand, it's a good thing for us to vet this. That they're saying, like, almost like they treat it like it's their field, and the residents, when they want to use it or something, almost are like inconvenienced. And to go a step further, I'm thinking we have a great rec group. We just opened up another park. You know, why don't we in Palos Heights be the sponsor? And forget about power. And why don't we sponsor and have, like, the city of Palos Heights be the sponsor of that program? They sign up at the rec thing. If you're a resident or something from Palos Heights, you get a discount, because we always give discounts for residents. And then, you know, it's more of like a city-sponsored program than having, like, say, we kind of almost are in a quasi-lease position with this power, because we let them use our properties and stuff, the rec fields. And to me, I think it would make more sense for us as a city to get involved and maybe run the program, or have a parallel program that they could have their power program, but maybe we should have our own program, and so that maybe kids that can't get on a traveling team, or maybe they could make the Palos Heights traveling team. You know what I mean? And because it's great, I think, for us to try to keep these kids involved and keep them in sport, get in trouble. And I mean, it's like, I don't want to say this because I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I was told that people are afraid to speak up about this, and because they're afraid of repercussions. And I really think that that's not a good thing. And, you know, we should give all the young ladies a chance to play in these sports.
Well, I think it's something that we should discuss at Rex, you know, so when Jeff gets back, we'll talk to him about it, so.
Okay, I could do that, but,
Miss-
you know, I did want to make one comment on that fence. I'm on the rec committee,
Mhm.
and part of the deal with the fence, last year we approved the permanent fence
Right.
on their field number 1. And the temporary
Just
fence
to come down.
was supposed to come down, and at the committee, we said the fence looked like crap. And we received assurances from the power officers who attended the rec meeting that if they put a fence up this year, it would be a whole lot better and a whole lot better quality than
What it was,
the
yeah.
fence that was last year. I see the same thing that Alderman McGrogan sees when I read that on 76th Avenue. That fence looks
Yeah.
awful.
Yeah, but it's going to come down, at least it's supposed to, so we'll make sure of that for
Yeah.
one thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the season, they could just take it down. And
That's
then,
what they're
like,
supposed to do.
Don't put it back up next year.
They're supposed to take it down, yeah.
Mr. Mayor, you said this has all been resolved.
The thing about starting another team, and there was a whole thing going back and forth.
Yeah,
about
because,
it.
you know, I too got contacted, and I know, but
Yeah.
there was ads and meetings going to be up at X's and O's about it and voice your concern, which I don't believe, you know, there's nothing any of us could go up there and say, or none of us did. But as far as I heard the same thing about turning kids away, no matter what, every opportunity she made to turn, no
Right.
child should be turned away, especially when you have children, and they shouldn't be turned away either. But I was told that the non-resident ones play here for resident rate, but if you go to the other place, they charge a fee of $100 for joining their league for not being a non-resident. It's just the reverse
Well,
here, but
and going back to it, I think the rec committee is the place to talk about it, to get the facts and kind of go through the whole thing before we.
Well, that's fine, but, my big thing, I ran one of these things for many, many years.
I understand.
And I was an officer of
So
Chicago
was I.
Park District, Tom McFedrick tried, so I know how it works. But really, no resident's child, no matter what, should be turned
I
down
agree.
from playing the American dream of playing
I
baseball.
think when you make an accusation like that, not you guys, but whoever the resident was, they have to think of a specific case. And I know I'm very involved. The email went out yesterday that that issue with the boys is resolved and it's withdrawn. But if it's at a level where it's a travel team, where it's a competitive, that's competitive, and that's something different than the rec league that has
Well, I
has
know
been
I-
an incredible thing for this community. And I think if you polled the majority of the 200 some kids that play in that league, the value of having power in this community has been amazing. And the way it's run is amazing.
Not questioning that. All we're saying is
I
every
understand.
opportunity should be gave to a resident's child to be able to play baseball here in the city of Palos Heights, to grow up with the American dream, be the next Babe Ruth, whatever, boys or girls, it doesn't matter. Those are inner things they'll have to work out. But when we're told that, we have to sort of
Right,
react and ask
again,
questions. to
I
that.
agree with what you're saying, but I think the rec department to find out exactly what's going on, because there are people who say stuff, that are
Well,
some of
that's
true.
what I'm getting
I
at. but-
agree with you.
But, kids are kids, and
I
they shouldn't be
understand.
turned away, period.
I
for no
understand totally.
reason.
No, we'll pursue it.
Okay,
Good point, thanks.
that's it, I'm angry.
All right, it's fine. Roads and construction, Alderman Clifford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Motion to approve refreshing roadway striping west of Harlan Avenue with Superior Road Striping Suburban Purchase Contract Number 229, not to exceed $15,000.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, is there a second? Second by Alderman Violet, discussion, roll call.
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman Key. I'm sorry. It's not here. Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye, this is striping crosswalks and things throughout the neighborhoods. And next motion to approve going out to bid for the 70th Court Drainage Project Landscaping Restoration Project.
Moved by Alderman Clifford, second by Alderman Violet, discussion, roll call.
Alderman Basso.
Aye.
Alderman Lewandowski.
Aye.
Alderman McGrogan.
Yes.
Alderman McGovern.
Yes.
Alderman Clifford.
Aye,
Alderman Violet.
Yes.
and the road program soon to be started, what are we gonna, approximately? About 2 weeks, and notifications are going out to the affected areas.
Very good.
So-
Question, before we get off that, since Adam's here, is there any information, is 131st Street going west gonna be done, and then does 135th Street start after that? Somebody asked me that, I didn't have the answer.
131st Street, there, the IDOT drainage department, hydraulic department is replacing the culvert that's right there at Southwest Highway.
Is that pretty close? I thought it was supposed to be done in July, and then someone said they're gonna go to 135th, but I wasn't aware of what the schedule.
I don't have the dates on the completion time, I can update Alderman Clifford when I get that.
Okay,
I thought it was,
I thought it was November.
until October.
Yeah.
October?
I don't have the exact date.
Yeah. We might, if, just as a, maybe we might wanna put that on the TV, once
Sure.
we get the schedule, maybe, we should
Yeah.
put it on the TV.
Yeah.
And then I do believe it is going to 135th Street, but that won't begin until after this comes in.
Okay, cool.
A lot of
People
rain
ask-
lately, delays.
Anything else,
Yeah.
Jack?
That's the end of my report,
All right.
thank you.
License permits and franchises, Alderman Lewandowski.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. No report.
Alderman Violet, water and sewer.
No report today, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, business and economic development, do you have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. Cable TV, Alderman McGovern.
No report, Mr. Mayor.
Any old business?
Old business. I would just like to comment on one of my favorite city services, and that's the chipper service.
Very useful today, by the way.
Public Works always does a fantastic job, especially with the chipper. But I noticed that now, especially with last night's storm, there are certain protocols for putting out your tree limbs and branches, et cetera, et cetera. Please follow the rules and the regs that you'll see in our newsletter. Basically, be courteous and stack your waste with the cut edges of your limbs to the street in a neat pile. 4 feet high, 8 feet long at the most, but I'm sure with special considerations and the weather conditions other things can be accommodated. But if you heap up your waste at the street, then Public Works has to untangle that mess and try to get it into the machine. It takes that much longer to get to your house than to clean up your waste. So once again, it's one of my, I almost stand there waiting for the chipper. Almost. I just like to remind everyone
You got a sad life there,
You
please.
gotta get a job.
Alderman Basso, I don't know if you mentioned the width that is,
I think it's four or 6 inches, 4 inches.
4 to 6 inches.
4 to 6 inches.
because that's kind of important. If it's too wide, the machinery can't handle it.
No stumps.
No stumps. Yeah, no
No
stumps.
stumps.
Anything else? No. Any other old business? Citizens wishing to ask questions regarding business tonight? Any new business? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
My name's John Keeber. I live in Forest Ridge. I was going east today on 127th, and over by the rec center, you have that crosswalk. Well, there was a young man on a bike there, and he was starting across, and it was flashing. I could see it going east. And then I saw an SUV coming, and it was he was coming pretty fast. Well, as I went, once the boy crossed, I took off, and I could see why. There's a lot of tree covering the flashing lights for the people going west.
Okay.
So I don't know if you wanted to
Yeah.
address that.
Oh, we'll get it right there.
Okay. I would have talked to
I
him
noticed it too.
after.
I noticed it too.
All
Great.
right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other citizens? Any new business?
Oh, Mayor, I've got something. Any chance, I was looking at the regional, and it said that Palos Park had a really successful DMV thing where people got a chance to get their license and vehicle stickers, or not vehicle stickers, but state
Yeah.
stuff. Any chance we could?
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to
It'd be
talk
a
to.
good idea.
I'm going to talk to Cunningham and Gill. I was with them Saturday, and I forgot to mention it to them. So
Okay,
yeah.
good. It'd be
Yeah.
great.
Can
I
I
understand.
tack on to that?
Okay.
I was there, advantage of that, you could have brought your tollway transponders in and had it replaced with the sticker new program. But the information that's out on the street about that program is very misleading, because Jewel used to do that, and then we went to Jewel to do that, and Jewel says, no, we don't do that. Go to the Oasis in South Holland. I mean, that certainly does not sound convenient nor correct. So I don't know how they're getting the information out and where we have to go. On the other hand, someone told me they just went to Orland Park and did it at Orland Park. So I don't know if they have an ongoing program or not to do
Yeah,
that.
and I'll try to get a local thing out here if we can.
Thank
All
you.
right. Any other old business? Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?